As our market shifts and we get more Santa Cruz homebuyer opportunities, I wanted to share with you a few things to consider when making an offer to purchase your Santa Cruz home and the home buying process once your offer has been accepted. Hi, I'm Shamika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert, and I wanted to share with you some helpful tips and strategies on how to get your offer accepted in this market. Buyers, even in this shifty market, are still competing for their dream home. So how can you make your offer stand out above the rest? I have a few tips to help you do just that. Number one, make sure you've offered a competitive price on the home. Not all sellers and listing agents will counter, so make sure you understand the seller's strategy so that you can submit your offer at the price that you feel the most comfortable and confident about. Number two, put down a larger earnest money deposit. In California, if the liquidated damages clause is signed, the most a seller can keep should a buyer default is 3% of the purchase price. In this market, to be extra competitive, including a 3% initial deposit with your offer will be helpful. It shows that you are serious and also tells the seller that you are more likely qualified to purchase their home. Number three, let's talk about contingencies. We have been seeing more often than ever before all, most, or some contingencies being waived with the submission of the original offer. This could have financial implications, so please be sure to discuss those with your Santa Cruz realtor. If you're not comfortable removing all or some of your contingencies when submitting your offer, would you consider shortening the time frames? That could help have your offer stand out above the others. Number four, let the seller know that you have not written other offers, if in fact that's true. It can scare a seller or make them think you are not serious if they learn that you have written 20 plus offers prior to this one. We want to instill confidence that you are the right buyer and that you will close escrow on the seller's property. Let them know you have verified the taxes and taken them into consideration in regards to your monthly payments. Let them know that you are going to be as reasonable as possible with regards to repairs and requests once you go into escrow. Make sure your Santa Cruz agent is in contact with their agent consistently, helping to make you, as the buyer, stand out in the eyes of the agent. You can be persistent and not aggressive, and you can get the point across. Believe it or not, that can be what seals the deal in the end. A seller wants to hear you're excited for the opportunity to purchase their home. Now let's say that strategy worked and wow, you got your offer accepted, congratulations. So now what? Here are the first steps of the Santa Cruz home buying process to help guide you through a successful escrow and to the close. Several important items will occur during the escrow process in California. They include the submission of the signed contract and the initial deposit to escrow, the home appraisal, inspections, mortgage underwriting, title search, and document preparation. You'll be directly involved in some of these steps and less involved in others. Let's take a look a little deeper so that you can better understand the process. Step one, the buyer and seller submit the signed documents to the escrow company, usually through their agents. If the purchase agreement requires the buyer to make a deposit against the purchase called the earnest money deposit, these proceeds are held in escrow. A senior member of the escrow company called the escrow officer prepares a detailed set of instructions listing the things that need to be completed before the close of escrow. Step two, buyer and seller sign documents that signify agreement with the escrow instructions and authorize the escrow company to complete their assignment. The seller also signs a grant deed transferring title to the property to the buyer, and the escrow company safeguards this document until the close of escrow when the funds are transferred to the seller. Step three, the escrow officer coordinates with the buyer's lender throughout the entire escrow process. The escrow officer orders loan docs and checks them carefully to ensure they are accurate before sending them to the buyer for signatures. Once the loan has been approved, the escrow officer verifies the terms of the loan before ordering the loan closing documents for the buyers to sign. Step four, meanwhile, the escrow officer will contact the seller's lender to arrange the payoff of the seller's loan. The officer will request details needed to pay the remaining balance in a beneficiary statement and determines payment status and transfer terms. Step 5. During escrow, the seller should be complying with all the conditions the buyer has imposed on the sale, including pest inspections, environmental disclosures, and any repairs that have been determined by the buyer as necessary. The escrow officer will receive certification from the various companies providing the services that they have been satisfied and will in turn remove these contingencies as a condition of the sale. That is if you wrote them into the contract. Let's have a conversation in person about this. Step 6, early in the escrow process, the escrow officer will contact the title company which has been selected to conduct a title examination and provide title insurance and order a title search. The title company will quickly provide a preliminary title report which identifies all known liens and encumbrances against the property. Each of these is carefully researched by a title examiner, and the seller may have to resolve liens before title can safely be conveyed to the new buyer. The title examiner will also conduct a search of all local property tax authorities to determine the tax payment status of the property. Step 7. When the buyer's loan has been approved, the seller's loan payoff has been calculated, and all conditions and disclosures relating to the property have been satisfied, and a title company has examined the transfer of title, the transaction is ready to close. The escrow officer will calculate all of the payments due to parties to the transaction and prepare the closing documents. And that's it. Super simple. Now your escrow is closed and you're officially a homeowner, so congratulations. Of course, if you'd like to dig a little deeper or get additional details, I know this was a lot to process, on the escrow process or on getting your offer accepted in today's market, please feel free to reach out to me for a complimentary, confidential consultation. I'm Shamika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert, and as always, I'm here to help.